Welcome to it, the Intellectual Idiot Show, episode 5. However you're listening, we thank you for listening, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Spotify. Thank you very much for tuning in. We appreciate you week in and week out. Yet again, the feedback has been absolutely incredible, so thanks for tuning in. Thank you for providing your feedback. We're going to do our best to...
Morale's a little low right now.
Depressed in this podcast. We're going to plow through. We're going to do it for the viewers. Tyler had the brilliant idea of, you know what? Let's record after the game.
Because, we thought there was going to be a win.
There was going to be a big win. We were going to be recording on a high. Life was going to be good. Everything was going to be great. But here we are. 2
pounds of spinach and artichoke dip later.
Oh, that was really good, by the way. Like, that dip was really good.
Thank you. The gut's feeling a little big today.
I would put my what's hot as you.
You've
been really good at cooking and really exploring that route lately, so kudos to you. But I know Mel probably took the lead on that, but...
We both did. But shout out to Mel. She was great.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you all for listening. We appreciate you. Follow, subscribe, all the works. We're going to keep growing this. We're going to keep delivering you guys content because we love to do it.
We love to slap all of our listeners in the face very hard. With
week in and week out. All right. So, obviously, there's a pretty large elephant in the room. And it's not Tyler after the dip.
It's not me. Our guts are feeling it, but the Bucs.
What a disgusting game.
These last 2 games have been just severely disappointing. Both games, utterly disgusted. Don't even know where to start.
I gotta be honest, and we had quite a crowd with us today, and my parents were there, and it was fun. The hype up is always fun. There's a risk you take inviting a group over to your place.
Yeah, it's tough to keep the positive vibes when you have everyone there. When the game is that bad, it's like
especially when you're
ruined.
When you're an avid fan. Yeah. And there are people there that are clearly not
especially for
fans.
You. Max really gets into it.
You know what I mean though.
Yeah.
It's like you invite a group over and you are doing it for the morale and whatever, and it's really fun at first to get everybody there and everybody
get hyped for the game.
Everybody's hyped.
We're gonna fucking win.
And then all of a sudden this halftime's great. Everything's great up until halftime.
Yeah.
Ever since
classic Bucs halftime, 42 points.
Right before halftime. Remember what exactly happened again? It was Giannis had that foul, that half court foul on Marcus Smart, and it was a quick swing. Then ever since then the Bucs never recovered.
True, absolute downhill since that
terrible,
horrendous call.
Terrible.
It might have been a foul, but you cannot, as a referee in the NBA, you cannot call that a shooting foul. 3 shots for that.
Yeah, it was a really bad play by Giannis. Mm-hmm. If I'm going to defend, if we're going to be upfront and honest on this podcast, the Bucs deserve to lose the game.
Yeah, they didn't deserve to win this series. They didn't. They did not play well. Giannis obviously got his stats: 40, 20, and 6 last game.
How about these stats? 200, 150. 200 points, 100 rebounds, and 50 assists. The first player ever in NBA history to do that in a playoff series.
Yeah, that just shows that he's doing too much, and he did not have enough support. We needed Middleton. So unlucky what happened to him. Just that little slip. Just so unlucky. No one showed up. Drew Holiday obviously had his games. He had his moments with that block and the steal to end the game. What was that, 3 games ago to win? But Grayson Allen, absolute disaster this series. George Hill literally just is he's a pussy out there. It's he's afraid to do anything. What happened to you, George Hill? You did absolutely nothing.
This series was too big for Grayson Allen and George Hill.
Grayson
Allen is going to stand out against the Chicago Bulls, but let's be honest, the Chicago Bulls had absolutely no business being in the playoffs. The Chicago Bulls didn't belong. And, Grayson Allen played very well against the Bulls and hit some big threes, but clearly the Celtics were too good defensively. Grayson Allen never stood a chance. I got the stats right here. Giannis today, 25, Holiday, 21, Lopez, 15. Meanwhile, 11 of those 15 came in the first half. Wesley Matthews, 3. Grayson Allen, 1. Grayson Allen had 1 point in 22 minutes.
How many shots did Grayson Allen have?
2 points in 22 minutes.
How many shots did Grayson take?
Grayson took 10 shots.
Holy
No. He took 6, and he was 0 for 4 from 3.
That's just awful. I mean, he doesn't do it. He's horrible on defense, too. Jason Tatum was absolutely exposing him.
So, our plus-minuses on the day. Giannis was negative 20. Holiday was negative 19. Lopez was negative 20. And Matthews was negative 23.
Yeah.
And Grayson Allen was negative 5.
Negative 5 only?
Yeah. That's, I think, because he did the least. So, he could actually put up the least worst stats.
Okay.
I mean, Pat Connaughton, 2 points on 1 of 6 shooting, 0 for 5 from 3. Bobby Portis, 10 points.
Talk about, Bobby, what he looked like he wanted to kill someone out there today. I don't know if you guys are viewers, if you saw what he did on the sidelines, but he was getting all upset. It looked like he wanted to punch someone, just like he did with Nico, the guy in the Bulls, but he came out and he went onto the sideline. All of a sudden, he just fucking rips his goggles and throws them into the crowd. What do you think was going through his head?
Yeah, but obviously, Bobby has trouble keeping his temperament to begin with, but he didn't play well. He didn't play well really all series. He played really well in Game 5, but
I think it was that stupid third foul.
Yeah.
That's what he got right away.
Yeah, all in all, you're not going to win the way you performed, but I'll tell you this right now. If Chris Middleton plays in that series, and if he's getting the minutes that Grayson Allen had to play, we are winning that series in 5 games.
Yeah, 5 or 6, no doubt, in my opinion.
Right now, everybody now realizes why Chris Middleton got the Supermax contract.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm officially calling for a rematch series. Bring Chris back. Tell the NBA I'm calling Adam Silver.
You know what?
I'm calling Adam Silver. Hey, Mr. Adam, please. We're doing a rematch series.
Please call Adam Silver.
So we're going to call Adam Silver after this podcast. We're going to call for a rematch.
I don't want to put him on the spot.
Yeah, we don't want Adam. The copyright issue. We can't bring Adam on the show, unfortunately.
We'll talk to Adam after the show. Where he's in my speed dial. I have his number.
We're pretty good friends with him. He's a cool guy. Yeah. Just had dinner with him the other night.
Yeah.
But he was not happy with the Bucks, the way they're performing.
It's so bad, and obviously, you can say, if ifs and buts were candy nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
Oh, I've never heard that fucking phrase before.
You know that.
Max has used that phrase 400 million times.
If ifs and buts were candy nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. Write it down and remember it, because it's a fact of life that you have to carry with you wherever you go. The matter of the fact is, the Bucks lost. The Celtics beat us. The Celtics were incredible. Jason Tatum.
He's looking like
such a special player.
He's literally looking like a top 5 NBA player right now. That might be real bold, but is he top 5?
I have a question for you. Who looked better, Jason Tatum in this series, or Kevin Durant in last year's series against the Nets?
You're saying when we played the
when we played the Nets last year in the playoffs, when we took the Game 7 and we managed to beat the Nets in 7. Kevin Durant was incredible.
I'd say Kevin Durant still.
Kevin Durant still had it on.
Yeah, Kevin Durant, best offensive player in the world, but Jason Tatum, one of the best shooting performances in this series ever.
What did he shoot in Game 6? He shot 60%.
He had over 40 points.
45.
Yeah.
He was not missing anything. Him and Smart. I hate Marcus Smart.
We are an anti-Marcus Smart and an anti-Grant Williams podcast.
Who do you hate more,
I thought I hated Marcus Smart the most, but I think I hate Grant Williams more. Did you see him go into the huddle with the Bucks and he was just like, hello? He's such a flopper. Yes, he had a great game today. He was making his shots.
27.
But he's a dirty player. I don't like his flopping. He just kind of looks
10 for 22 from the floor and 7 of 18 from 3. 7 of the 10 shots he made were 3-pointers.
He always has this smirk on his face that I just don't like. He's got a punchable face.
Yeah. They played better than us today.
Yeah.
They played better than us in the series.
Kudos to the Celtics. They deserve this win, even though the rest were absolutely horrendous as well.
There needs to be something that needs to be done about this flopping.
They need to address the flopping, the charges. I mean, the leaning into the threes. They did address that last year. The leaning into the threes because of James Harden.
That has been done.
But now they might actually fix this rule because of this series. I have a feeling that there's going to be something changed because it was significant impact on the game.
It was getting to a point where every time, like Giannis or Brook Lopez got the ball, or Holiday for that matter, any contact that was made around the hoop, Boston was flopping over. Exactly like that. Hey! Yeah, let's reenact. It was like this. All right. So I'm not. No. I'm the Bucks. You can be the flopper. So it's like this. Bang. Yeah, that is exactly what it was.
But I would have fallen to the ground, obviously.
For those of you watching on YouTube, you just got a special bonus.
For those of you on Spotify, you probably just got fucked in the ears, so sorry.
Yeah, but we also don't apologize. I'm pissed. I am pissed.
Bucks fans got to be pissed after this one.
We lost the series when we couldn't win Game 6 at home.
Yeah. We
lost the series when we could not win Game 6 at home. We had them on the ropes. We had an incredible Game 5. We willed ourselves back into it. We got to win. We did what we had to do on the road in Game 5. We're not going to win. I was talking with Haley about this before, and my girlfriend Haley is an avid Bucks fan. And I was maybe being a little bit negative, but I was saying to her, we need to win Game 6 because we're not going back to Boston and winning our third game on the road.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. We had our chance in Game 6 and we blew it.
Giannis had... How many points did he have last game? He had...
44.
20 rebounds, and he was 14 for 15 from the free throw line. If you can't win a game with Giannis doing that, he literally is willing the team by himself for these last two games.
Gotta win that game.
Drew, he stepped up in some ways. We love Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is a fantastic player, but he didn't have it. He didn't have what we needed. But
I think what people also, to go off your point right there, other thing that people forget is Drew Holiday. He does so much more game in and game out than score, and on an everyday, day-to-day basis from the Bucks, we don't ask Drew Holiday to average 26 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's not Drew Holiday's role. That's not what we got him for in Milwaukee. We got Drew Holiday to handle the ball better than Eric Bledsoe.
And not be timid like Eric Bledsoe.
Yeah.
I mean, take shots and not be afraid to take shots.
To be a difference maker on defense, which he 110% is.
Yeah, I still love Drew Holiday, and I think he's an amazing player.
He's one of the best point guards in the league.
Yeah.
And that's just a straight up fact. Drew Holiday is absolutely unbelievable. But, again, he didn't have it. But offensively, you can't rely on Drew Holiday like you can on Chris Middleton. And
Chris Middleton,
he's not that, type of guy. He's not the type of player.
Yeah, the fact is, Chris Middleton... When he wants to, when he's hot, he can take over a game. Drew Holiday doesn't have that capability. He doesn't. He can't take over a game like Chris Middleton can. Chris Middleton has those games, last year against the Nets when he gets hot. He's making every fadeaway three. He's making corner threes. Whatever he does goes in. And
Chris Middleton,
you got to have a guy like that.
He saved us in that Hawks series.
Yeah.
When Giannis got hurt, Chris Middleton, he was there. It is time that people see and that people respect Chris Middleton for the player that he is.
100%. He's worth every single dollar we spent.
Day in and day out, that man gets so much criticism. Yeah, he's not Stephen Curry, but nobody is Stephen Curry. Chris Middleton needs to be respected. He needs to be respected as one of the stars in this league, and we saw it more than ever today. We saw it all last year in the playoffs, too. In the finals, we saw it when Giannis was out last year in the playoffs. We wouldn't have a championship if it wasn't for Chris Middleton. If we didn't have Chris Middleton last year, the Hawks would have beat us in that Eastern Conference divisional round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People need to start seeing what Chris Middleton does for this team and respect it. And next year, I think the Bucks really, really, really have to address some serious holes.
We need to get rid of Grayson Allen. Get him. I don't know. I know we just signed him for a 2-year contract.
Yeah.
somehow we need to get out of that, trade him, get rid of him. We need to get rid of George Hill.
Give me your Bucks hot takes right now. Give me Bucks hot takes.
George Hill out.
It's not really a hot take. He sucks.
Yeah, I'm just saying what needs to be. I'm just saying what needs to be done.
Yeah.
George Hill out, obviously. What's his name? Grayson Allen gone for sure. We got to get rid of his contract, trade him for a garbage dumpster out back at the Fiserv.
We need to figure out what we're gonna do with some of these role players that we have.
Wesley Matthews.
What's his name? The young kid on our team, who didn't play at all in the playoffs.
Oh, Javon Carter?
No.
I mean, he's young.
Yes, him.
Javon.
Him was one of them.
He needs to play more.
The young guy with the afro.
Oh, Nawara.
Nawara. We got to figure out what we're gonna do with those kids. Because if Javon Carter and Nawara, we need to decide if we want them to be key players to our team, if we're gonna just ride them on the bench. Because if we're not gonna do anything with them, we need to get rid of them.
100%. I think Budenholzer needs to be. I mean, there's some questions right now with Budenholzer. I'm pissed. I think a lot of people are pissed that he refused. It felt like he wasn't making any changes mid-game for any of these games, or even from game-to-game adjustments. He didn't try at all to put in Javon Carter, like you said, Jordan Nwora, anyone. Thanasis, put him in for the last 2 minutes of this third quarter or the halftime to give a little energy, give a little boost. Why not try something else? Clearly, it wasn't working. Yeah. They had 7 guys that they used. Bobby and Grace, Connaughton off the bench, and that was it. We had a 7-man rotation, and it clearly was not working.
I do agree with you.
Why not try something else?
So here's what I'll say, and here's where I'll disagree with you a little bit, right? Because I'm a pro Budenholzer. I've always been a pro Budenholzer. For
sure. I love Budenholzer. I'm just saying it's very questionable to his playoff coaching this year. This series.
I would say, though, to defend Budenholzer, where I would go with this is a lot of playoff rosters shrink, right? I mean, you don't play 10 guys in the playoffs.
Why not? If it's absolutely not working, why not literally just put them in 2 minutes, see what happens?
But if you're Budenholzer, right? What you saw Grayson Allen do in the Chicago series, you're hoping you see something catch on in the Celtics series. It wasn't working, but at the same time, Grayson Allen did average 27 points a game in that playoff series against the Bulls. So you're okay, this kid can hit threes. We've seen him hit threes. We've seen him hit threes 2 weeks ago, right? So it's and then on top of that, what is Budenholzer supposed to do about our team shooting 12%?
I think it was worse than that.
It might have been.
It was one of the worst shooting performances I've ever seen of any team in the playoffs.
What is Mike Budenholzer supposed to do about that?
No, that's true.
You know what I mean? That's really tough. And
but
you need Chris Middleton, and we
make an adjustment. Tell the guys that they need to attack more. Emphasize they need to attack the basket more. Get to the rim. They weren't getting to the rim. They were settling for fadeaway deep twos. They were settling for not good shots, deep threes. They weren't making the threes.
Here's my hot take about the Bucks. You ready? I think it's time for Brook Lopez to go.
Oh yeah, he's done.
I love Brook Lopez. I do. I love Floppy Brook.
The Moose.
I love the Mooser. Brook Lopez. The game. That's why Bobby Portis is getting more minutes at the end of games than Brook Lopez.
It's too fast for Brook.
Brook Lopez is too slow, and he can't keep up with the pace of the game. And he can make shots sometimes, but he didn't make any shots in this series. He
had a good game today. Solid.
He had a good first half, Ty.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything in the second half.
You're right.
And it's it pains me to say it because Brook Lopez has had some magical moments.
And he's such a likable guy, too.
He is. He's had some magical moments with Milwaukee. He's done some great things in the playoffs the last couple of years. He's had some huge games. I'm talking, where was that this year when we needed him? Where was that 20-something point game from Brook? You know what I mean? Where was that? We needed that. It's we needed that bad. We didn't have anybody do that this whole series besides Drew and Giannis. We needed one person like Brook to step up and have one of their big games. Or Wesley. Or Pat. Or somebody.
We didn't have what the Celtics had the last 3 games. Someone stepping up that is random that doesn't normally step up. We had the Al Horford game. 30-plus points. Random. Out of nowhere. We had this most recent game. Grant Williams, out of fucking nowhere, has 27, I think it was.
Dude, Pritchard.
Pritchard
had 14 tonight.
Pritchard was an absolute disaster this whole series, and then all of a sudden he's just making threes. He's shimmying in the Bucks' faces, absolutely embarrassing them. Like
Pritchard had more points tonight than all of our bench players combined.
We only had 3 players with assists tonight too. 3 players that passed for a fucking assist. Like that is nuts. It's our whole offense was predicated on 1v1s or Giannis getting into the lane and like either trying to do a fadeaway or kicking it out, or Drew Holiday trying to drive in and take a terrible shot.
Yeah, and I mean honestly, like again, like we'll go back and we'll wrap this up, but you know, again, I love my Bucks. I love them.
Bucks fans
great
for
year
life
for the Bucks. And here's the deal: like Bucks, way less of a heartbreaker than the Packers, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, first of all, I much rather would get just fucking killed in a playoff game than lose in like a heartbreaking, like rip out of your chest type of moment, like where like Tatum, I can just see Tatum draining a game winner and sinking us and it just being over. Much rather lose this way. Tough series for the Bucks, but we will be back, and I think that we're going to be better next year. Obviously, you know, I think we're going to really need to look at our center position to really see.
I think we need an athletic center, a young athletic center.
Maybe we draft one. Maybe we look into that.
We need one out of Arkansas.
Yeah, but we need to look at our center position.
Arkansas produces.
Oh yeah, the Hogs, the Razor Hogs,
the Razorbacks.
We need to look at our bench depth. We need to figure out what we want to do with some of these guys that are riding the pine. Are we going to develop them? Are we going to trade them? We really need to think about what we're going to do with this Grayson Allen and this Wesley Matthews. I'll tell you what. Last thing I'll say about the Bucks, PJ Tucker.
We need you. Please come back.
Wesley Matthews is not PJ Tucker.
Wesley had his moments. He's a great defender. He can make threes sometimes, but he doesn't do much else.
I really don't like Wesley Matthews. I gotta be honest. Like
Marquette.
I love Marquette. I love Wesley Matthews. I love you as a person, and like to have you on the Bucks is a good feeling. But Wesley Matthews should not be getting the minutes that he's getting.
Yeah,
he's not a starter.
Afro Wesley was not it today. He should have kept the braids. But so, you know, now that the Bucks are out, what are you thinking for the rest of the playoffs? Who do you got? East, West? Who do you got for winning it all?
I really am rooting for the Mavs tonight.
I would love
that would be so funny if the Suns lost to the Mavericks.
That would be amazing. Honestly, I want the Mavs to win it all. Even though Luka's kind of a bitch.
They're not going to win it all. The Mavs are
Luka's kind of a bitch. He's a complainer.
I love Luka.
I just think it would be. I think it'd be great to just see the Mavericks win it all because I don't want the Warriors. I'm sick of the Warriors. Yeah, they're great and fun to watch. I don't want the Warriors. Obviously, I hate the Celtics. I don't want the Celtics. I
don't like the Heat either.
I don't really like the Heat either.
Shit.
Honestly, I really hope the Mavericks win, but
yeah.
Who do you think actually is going to take it?
I really in my heart, I really believe it's going to be Heat out of the East, and I think it's going to be the Warriors out of the West, and then I think the Heat are going to win it all.
I would agree, honestly.
Really?
Dead on, yeah.
Wow.
I have my...
Attaboy, gut. Attaboy.
Honestly, I have what I want, which is the Mavericks, and out of the East, I can't say I want the Celtics or Heat, but I'd rather have the Heat.
I like Steph Curry, and I like Klay Thompson, and I like Steve Kerr. Like, I would not mind seeing the Warriors win it all either. I'd much rather have the Warriors win it all than anybody in the East.
That's fair.
Or the Suns.
I just hate the Celtics. I'm so done with the Celtics. I also, now that I think about it, I'm very much not a Heat fan. Did I tell you about my story, what happened when I went to the Miami Heat?
You've told me 12 times.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell the audience because they haven't heard.
All right, you can tell the audience, and I'll hear it from the 13th. All right, fans, get ready for Ty's
You're such a dick. It's not like a huge story. I just am not a fan of the Heat fan base. I went with my buddy when I was living in like the Miami-Fort Lauderdale area to a playoff game.
Basically, to sum the story up, Ty went to a Heat game, and he was the only Bucks fan in a Heat playoff game. So he was shocked.
But
there were not more Bucks fans.
Yes, there was. I think there was one other. My buddy was wearing a Sacramento Kings shirt.
That's way worse.
So it was a Bucks fan and a Sacramento Kings fan sitting next to each other. So we were really standing out from the crowd. But yeah, I was like, people were tormenting me left and right. The fucking mascot was following me around on his hoverboard, booing me and circling me, literally circling me, just like boo, and then he would get everyone to boo me, boo. So I was getting surrounded by Heat fans. while this hoverboard mascot's also booing me.
You look like a really booable guy. If you
we also won.
See that I booed Tyler at Packer games before.
Yep.
I follow you on.
We also won by 40 that game, but I'm a booable guy.
I booed you. Remember when you posted on TikTok? I'd be following you around Lambeau Field booing you for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was not a great
But
game.
it is a pretty tough story. Tough look for the Heat fans.
Yeah. But it's a very beautiful stadium, and it's right on the water, so who am I to complain about them?
Right? But, anywho, I think we should move it on. We got a lot to cover. A lot more to cover. We got what's hot, what's not. Ty, you want to kick us off? What hot, what not?
Sure. So, I refuse to say that the Celtics are hot because they are hot, but that's not going to be it for me today.
Welcome.
We're going to go with empanadas.
Yes. Give me the empanadas. Give me all the empanadas.
I love empanadas, especially La Masa. Shout out to the Brady Street. Fantastic restaurant, La Masa, Argentinian empanadas. Mine and Andrew's and Jack's favorite place in Milwaukee.
It was very good. You took me there once.
We love it. I mean, they got 20, 25 different empanadas. I mean, people don't talk about empanadas enough. It's all about tacos and burritos these days and the burrito bowls. Why don't empanadas get the love?
They don't. They don't get the love that they deserve. It's a damn shame.
They're so good.
I would agree. I mean, they're little like pastry, beautiful wonders.
Yeah.
With beautiful Mexican.
And they're so creative with it too. Like the other day, I had a Thai chicken peanut.
Oh.
It was amazing. I mean, they had a cookie dough with chocolate inside. Cookie dough with chocolate drizzle.
I had that with you. That was the one that I ordered.
I mean, Argentine tinga, or chicken tinga, Argentinian beef, like everything about it. Everything about empanadas. They don't get enough love. Shout out to all of our listeners. Everyone, go out and get an empanada this week.
Be better. Get an empanada.
Get an empanada. Skip the Chipotle this week. Go get an empanada.
It would be a dream come true if La Mesa sponsor our podcast.
Someday we're gonna have Mr.
La Mesa. If
La Masa.
you are La Masa,
Mr. Masa is coming on the show.
Masa,
Mr. or Mrs. Masa.
You have a formal invitation to be on our show, Mr. or Mrs. Masa, or both, or maybe they're divorced. Whatever. I mean.
Or we just get the president of Argentina on the show.
Oof, that is a stretch. I don't think that's gonna happen. But okay, what's not?
What's not? Bad. I don't know if any of our listeners pay attention to the
Are you sure you even want to talk about this? This is going to make me depressed.
Yeah. I mean,
let's just wrap this up quick.
We're not
going to.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit.
I'm down big.
Well, everyone's down big. That's the point.
Big.
That's why it's what's not. The crypto markets. I don't know if you guys have paid attention this week. There was a cataclysmic drop in the market. The most I've ever seen come out of the market. It was over $1 trillion, I believe, that came out of the market this week. It was the most epic collapse of all time. I think, like, literally ever in anything. Terra Luna, I don't know if you guys know the story, but there was a whole situation with, it was a top 10 crypto. It was a blue chip, supposed to be around forever. It's supposed to be one of the safe ones. All of a sudden, BlackRock and Citadel, the companies that are super, corrupt, and they're working with the governments, they're working with the banks. They come in, they manipulate their stable coin, they manipulate Bitcoin, they buy a bunch, and they cause a sell-off, they cause a liquidity shock with this, and absolutely cause Terra Luna stablecoin to depeg from the dollar, and it caused the biggest crash of all time. I believe it was at over $80, and within the next 24 hours, it dropped to 0.00001 cents, so significantly less than a penny, and many people out there lost all their savings. I mean, Terra Luna was a top 10 crypto.
So is your what's not crypto or what's not Terra Luna?
I think I'm going to go Terra Luna because Terra Luna is the reason that this crypto drop happened. Yes, it's because of the rich and the elites causing, the manipulation of this whole Terra Luna stablecoin. So I think I'm going to go Terra Luna.
So is your what's not also the rich?
Yeah, the elites. BlackRock and Citadel.
Come on, BlackRock.
BlackRock and Citadel fucking the retail average investor out of their money and pumping the money for themselves.
XRP.
I mean, that's down. Still in the lawsuit. Everything is down. Dude, the whole market.
Cardano down.
Everything's
down.
Everything is down 80%.
Mana down.
70 to 80% from their all-time highs. The market is bleeding bad. If you've ever had a time where you want to get in, this might be the time. Not financial advice, but
not financial advice. This is non-financial.
This is all for fun. This is all our opinion, not for financial advice. Yeah. But this is the biggest drop ever, and the time to get in is now because of the drop. It's the cheapest in a long time.
It's my world. Everybody else is living in it.
So that means it's your turn.
It's hot. So I have. You know what?
You don't get to say things like that without being slapped.
You're cut. Get over here.
You already hit me really hard.
Punch
you already hit me really hard, but you deserve that slap.
Thank you. So I have two what's hot.
We'll put that in slow-mo for you later.
Number one, what's hot is tailgating, grilling. Summer is back. Wisconsin is back. The Brewers are back. And we have a lot. You know what? We're sad right now, but we have a lot to be excited for going forward.
We've got about 40 tailgates to look forward to this year.
Yeah, and me being a partial season ticket owner now.
We got a high roller over here, guys.
Oh,
high roller.
Big time Mo. So, going to be at a lot of Brewer games, going to be tailgating quite a bit. It's going to be really, really good stuff. Tailgating is my what's hot. There's not a lot of things in this world that I love more than grilling out, getting ready for the game. Whether it's not even just tailgating at the Brewer game or tailgating anywhere, grilling out back at home, whatever it might be, getting that grill fired up, get that country music playing.
Toss the football around, baseball, cornhole.
Oh yeah.
So Wisconsin, you know?
It's Wisconsin. I mean, it's my what's hot.
It just lifts my spirit, puts me in a good mood. Obviously, not a lot of drinking before, as we've had certain stories come about. Yeah. Drinking too much at Brewer games, but...
Also, my other what's hot is...
Other what's hot?
I actually technically have three what's hots. But
whoa.
My second
That's
what's
too
hot,
much. This show cannot handle three what's hots.
My second what's hot is me.
Fuck you. You are not hot.
I got a New Jersey...
you are not hot.
City edition. I look fantastic. I'm working my flow. I look great. I got a great tan the other day. I am trending so far up.
I have not heard
I am hot.
anything more wrong in my entire life.
I am what's hot in this world.
We need to bring the haters on.
The world needs to know that I am what's hot, and I will be what's hot from till the day I croak. And that's just a fact of the matter.
All right, well, let's tell the world why you're hot, and tell me about your Office Depot story. That's why the world should know you're hot.
Okay, whatever. Well, my last what's hot. My last what's hot is sunscreen. Sunscreen for gingers in specific.
Doesn't work for you, clearly.
It's time that sunscreen gets recognition. People need to use sunscreen.
Tell the world why you're hot, and then tell your Office Depot story.
I told the world why I'm hot.
The Office Depot story just happened too, by the way. So I'd love to hear it.
My what's not is my Office Depot.
So let's hear it.
First of all, Office Depot is just a what's not in general. Right?
How is that place still open?
But that's not my what's not. That's my fuck up of the week. We'll get to Office Depot. All right, but my what's not are the Cincinnati Reds. Okay, the Cincinnati Reds are a true disgrace to the game of baseball. Today, they lost. Surprisingly, right? They're 8-29 now.
They have 8 wins now.
I think so. 7 or 8 wins.
5 of them being from the Brewers.
No.
They beat the Brewers a lot this year.
No, they beat the Brewers twice. They're 2-5 against the Brewers.
Okay.
But, anyway, the Cincinnati Reds lost. And they threw a no-hitter. A no-hitter.
And they lost.
The Pittsburgh Pirates. And they lost 1-0.
Talk about some hitters that just aren't performing.
That is catastrophic. That is horrid. How do you throw a no-hitter and manage to lose a game?
I mean, it just goes to
Each
show.
and every one of those players.
It just goes to show that they're the worst team ever.
How do you, honest to God, you throw a no-hitter and you lose the game? How do you
go
have
from
some self-respect?
A historic event of one of being in the history books of a no-hitter to also not scoring a run. It's in itself and losing has to be the first ever of all time in any t-ball, softball, high school baseball, select baseball, college baseball, any sort of baseball out in the Dominican. First ever time in the history of the world that's probably happened.
I mean, you just need to maintain self-respect. That's all I.
They don't have it anymore.
Have self-respect.
They also have like no guys. All their guys are injured. They have everyone's injured. Take a look at their roster. Basically, all their starters are hurt. Moustakas out. Joey Votto out. Jonathan India out. Who's that really fast guy? He's out.
Tough look for the Reds. Yeah, so anyway, my what's not, the Reds, they are terrible. It's going to be a 2-team race in the NL Central. It's the Brewers versus the Cardinals. The Cubs are terrible. The Pirates are a disgrace. The Reds are a disgrace.
Yeah, the Brewers have the
NL
division.
Central is, the Brewers are 22-12 right now. They're off to a fantastic start. Christian Yelich is back, all the way back. He is hitting the ball with authority again. And I love it. Hit for the cycle against, guess who? The Reds.
He's hit for the cycle in his career. He's hit for the cycle. Is it, 3 or 4 times?
3 times.
Every single time he's hit for the cycle, it's been against the Reds.
The Reds. The Reds find their way to
the Reds. It's not the Cubs. It's not the Cubs anymore. It's
the Bears.
The Bears.
Not the Cubs. You are cut.
Don't deafen our viewers here.
You are cut. You are one of the more cut people I've ever seen. All right, if I'm going to make my what's hot comment be me, and I'm going to get cut for that, you're cut for duck.
Wait till you hear this fuck up of the week, and you'll decide if Max is still hot or not.
Let's dive right into fuck up of the week.
All right, let's hear your fucking terrible Office Depot story.
Office Depot. So I go with my beautiful, amazing girlfriend, Haley, to Office Depot.
Why are we at Office Depot?
We needed postage stamps. So, we're walking around looking for postage stamps, going in and out, back and forth.
Is this the only Office Depot open right now in the world?
I don't know. Office Depot is, I don't even know. Whatever. We needed the postage stamps. We were by. We saw Office Depot, so we went in and checked it out. Okay, we go into Office Depot. We're walking around. And finally, Haley always needs to do her due diligence and look all the way around first before asking somebody. I would have just asked right away. We go and ask.
I would have asked right away.
Yeah, this woman's like, oh yeah, I'll take you to the postage stamps. They're right in this aisle. Down to the left, they're right there. We look into the aisle. And she takes us to like the stamps, where like the ink stamps. You know, like when you use as kids for fun. To, like get fake ink tattoos on your arms and stuff. Like, so little did I know that she knew that she messed up right away by my facial expression. She walked right over to the spot and was like, oh, and I didn't know that she was walking right over to us because she knew she messed up right away and she knew we were talking about postage stamps. So I'm over there talking to Haley. I'm like, who the fuck would ever be talking about ink stamps?
What is it? You're not a notary public. Like, what is this?
Yeah. So I'm like sitting there like, who would ever talk about ink stamps ever, right? And like thinking, and my voice isn't quiet. So like she's actually right behind me, and she's like, oh, actually, I know you're talking about the postage stamps. The postage stamps are over here. And I was like, oh. And then I bend over to pick up something. And I completely blow out the back of my pants. Karma hit bad. I ripped my pants, and I ripped them bad. And it was a tough look.
And
I had to leave Office Depot. I had to go home. I had to get on new pants. I had to apologize to the worker.
Were they from Sierra?
No. Ooh, you might have a new what's not.
What's not? I do a new what's not next week.
But anyway, tough scenario. I apologize to Office Depot. I know there's only probably one Office Depot in the world left.
You might have almost shut them down.
But Office Depot, I apologize.
Also,
I ripped my pants.
Feel free to comment or send us a message if you still think Max's comment earlier on how he's trending and he's hot.
I am trending.
No.
I'm upwards.
You're not up. We got a big downward spiral right now going from
I'm the crypto
Max
market.
stock is down.
I'm the crypto market. Buy stock in me right now.
Yeah, buy the dip.
No. What's yours?
Yeah. So lately I have just been getting absolutely tormented at restaurants. I don't know what the fuck's going on because I'm very polite at restaurants. So we'll say this is a fuck up, but I don't really think it is. I think the overall situation's fucked up.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, overall situation's fucked up. Andrew, Dieter, Rain, all these guys have seen it firsthand. It's messed up. So we have this place we go to mostly every week, Tuesday for trivia, called Izzy Hops in Milwaukee. You know, it's the food's honestly not great. Service isn't great either, but we still go because we win every time. And so one of the first times we went, they were serving us in the back. We have our back room we like to go to, and I asked for a water. After they brought our food out to us, I get this fucking leer. Like, as if I had just severely offended this person. I get this look like I'm like the worst person in the world, and like what I had done was just not okay, and I had offended them. So, sure, gets me the water, absolute sassery, and the rest of the night they gave me tood. I went up and paid my check. I was like asking, like, you know, I went up there and told him to have a good night. He literally ignored me. I gave him my check, signed it, gave him the tip. Didn't give him a good tip, but like solid 18%. And he just ignored me. So I think I have a target on my back at Izzy House because I went back there again. Me, Melanie, and the rest of the guys that I just said. And we were ordering beers. And we didn't... So there's numbers correlated with the beer names, and we didn't know the numbers of the beers. And this lady was absolutely just so fucking pissed at me for not knowing the name of the beer. And she yelled at us, and then she told us to get out of the way because we were in the way of the bar. And like I said, I have a target on my back in Milwaukee because then 4 mornings ago, I went to Einstein Bagels with Andrew, ordered a burrito, gave a nice tip, even though all she did is give me the burrito. I gave a $2 tip on a $6 burrito, and then I asked for water again. This lady goes, "Oh, no, you have to buy water." And I'm just like, "Oh, okay, sorry." So I went and grabbed an apple juice, put that on the counter, and I put a bagel on the counter. I'm putting my credit card in, and I pull it out too early, and she goes, Whoa, what are you doing? You just canceled the transaction. And I also see that you were going to put $0 for the tip there, so put it back in and let me press that 0 for you. She pushes the 0 for me so aggressively and just made it the most awkward thing. I already tipped her $2 for handing me a burrito.
Why is somebody like that in the business?
I don't know.
Why are you doing
Because I asked for fucking water. I guess you can't ask for a free glass of water in this post-COVID era without getting absolute tood.
Unbelievable.
So, yeah, I ended up walking out, and I gave the lady a lot of tood on the way out. I was talking to Andrew very loud. I was like, wow, she was really cranky. She is miserable. So, moral of the story, apparently in this day and age, you can't ask for a glass of water.
Yeah, and don't go into hospitality if you're not going to be hospitable to people.
Yeah, like, why do you have to be that miserable? Why is there a target on my back? I'm always very polite to people. I'm very polite to waitresses. And, like, you know, I gave a $2 tip for a $6 burrito that she handed to me because she seemed like she was having a bad day. So I was like, here, I'll give you a tip. That backfired.
Yeah. Wow, tough. Well, folks, we're going to finish it up with our top 5, and it's a good one. And make sure you continue to vote. I'm undefeated in our top 5s.
Last week you won?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're going to have to double check that.
But top 5 sports uniforms. Okay. And we got a good one. Who wants to start?
I might as well go now. I'm already fired up a little bit.
Attaboy gut. Keep it going.
All right.
Keep it humming. Come on now. Keep it humming.
Number 5, I'm going to go with the Chargers Cool Blue jerseys. They're just sexy. I just love the color. Like, the yellow goes well with it.
And you're going 5-1.
5-1. I'm not going to mess it up and go 1-5 this time.
5-1. Okay, good.
4, Denver Nuggets Cool Blues as well.
Oh, I like those. I thought about putting the Nuggets on my list.
Or the retro Denver Nugget ones.
I thought about putting the Nuggets on my list. I like their uniforms.
I just wanted to include an NBA team after you called me out for not having any NBA jerseys on there.
I did not see this list, but he told me that he didn't have any NBA.
So I wanted to include one NBA.
Yeah.
And number 3, I'm going to go with the new Brewers uniforms. They're nice, like with that hard yellow gold and like the really dark royal blue.
You're talking about the
new, is it the new blue one? The ones they wore today.
Yeah, the blue.
They've got the gold and the really like navy
nice.
royal
Those are
blue.
nice, really
I
nice.
love those. Like not just because I'm biased with the Brewers, but I think they just look.
I don't think they're better than the Brewers retros, but
the cool blues as well. That would have made me have three cool blues in a row.
yeah. Go ahead. What's next?
Next, you're not going to be happy with the Steelers black uniforms. You can't even deny that the black uniforms are so crisp.
Oh God,
they're so good. They're so nice.
That's a home.
I love them. I mean, yeah, I'm a little biased, but like I think a lot of people would agree that the Steelers uniforms are pretty lit.
All right.
What do you think? Just as a side note, what do you think of the Bumblebee uniforms? The Steelers Bumblebee ones.
They might be the worst uniforms.
Okay, I kind of love them.
Oh.
I know a lot of people don't, but I kind of love them.
All right, what's your number one?
I think the Bengals uniforms this year were number one. Those, like their new jerseys that they came out with this year were unbelievably cool.
The Bengals.
Just they're so cool that they're a tiger. Like all the color scheme goes so well together. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Bengals. They're kind of an up and coming team, and I should hate them because I'm a Steelers fan. But their jerseys are fucking cool. They're so nice. Their helmets too. Like a Bengal tiger, that's just so badass.
What's funny is I almost thought about putting the Ravens all blacks on my list.
Those are nice
those
too.
Uniforms are really cool.
Those are nice.
But
all right,
that's
so that's my one.
You know what? Honestly, I would say everything out there besides probably the Steelers, the rest of those four deserve to be in the top five.
Well, thank you.
I think that's a pretty solid top five. So now we're gonna go into my top five. So my number 5, Boston Red Sox classic home.
Classic grays.
They're homes.
Is that the gray ones?
No, it's their white ones. They're
Okay.
white.
Yeah. Those are they're a little boring.
They're those are classic uniforms. If you are baseball fans, you know what I'm talking about. The Red Sox are one of the most historic teams in the MLB, and those solid white Red Sox, just Red Sox across the chest in red, and the font that they have it in and everything, like those uniforms are crisp. They're cool. They are the Boston Red Sox. They are world champions. I mean, those are really nice. I've always, since I've been a little kid, I've loved those Red Sox jerseys. I don't like the Red Sox, but I like them more than the
It's a safe
Yankees.
pick. They're a little boring.
And I've always loved Big Papi.
Yeah.
So I love the Red Sox uniform. Number 2. My number 4.
Number 4. Whoa.
I know. Number 4. I'm going to go Green Bay Packers home jerseys. So I feel like this is kind of like your Steelers pick. Right, so I am going to take back making fun of you about the Steelers, but I'm going to say the Packers because maybe that's a little bit of a hometown pick, but I think those Packers green and yellow uniforms are some of the best out there. They are classic.
They're unique.
They go back in history. The Packers are one of the oldest teams in the NFL history, and those uniforms really cement it. Those green and yellows, they've never varied away from
green
them.
And yellow, green and yellow, green and yellow.
They have never veered away from them. They've never curved away from them. Those always ride with them. Right, Packers, number 4. Number 3, the Philadelphia Phillies pinstripe jerseys.
I'm having a hard time picturing what those look like.
Ryan Howard, here, pull them up on your phone.
Okay, keep going.
And then show the viewers, get it up close to the camera. Or we'll put it on there on the edit.
Yeah.
We'll put it on there on the edit. But the Philadelphia pinstripe home uniforms are so sexy. They are so crisp and so cool.
Those are crisp.
Jimmy Rollins, Chase Utley,
you kind of go for the boring jerseys. It's classic. Like it's a great classic look, but it's just stripe, red, white.
I love them.
I just think it's a little boring.
My taste is different though. I don't like as flashy. I feel like
you like just
I'm
plain. You like plain.
Yeah, like crisp. That's what I like. I want like the uniforms that look
crisp or plain.
Crisp. It's the word that I would use to define my taste.
Okay.
Number 2, the LA Chargers powdered blues.
Yeah, I was gonna say your list was. I would be sweating a little bit if I had your list before this.
No,
pick.
I love my list. My list is great. LA Chargers powder blue uniforms. LaDainian Tomlinson in those powder blues.
We agree on that one.
When I think of those. LT, love you. Chargers. I've always liked the Chargers. I don't mind them at all. I'll always root for them out of the AFC. Justin Herbert's a monster. Those uniforms.
They're gonna win a Super Bowl.
Uniforms are really sweet. So Chargers number 2. Number 1. This might be controversial, but this is for all the marbles. I'm going with the San Diego Padres new home yellow, brown, and white pinstripe jerseys. Look those up right now. Those are so sexy. So cool. I love them. I think that right now those are the best jerseys in the game, not just in baseball but in all the sports. The Padres are doing it right with their home jerseys. It's not the Royals, it's the Padres.
Oh, they said Royals for something.
No, the San Diego Padres. Retro pinstripe home jerseys.
Okay.
Brown, yellow, and white. If you haven't seen them, look them up. Tell me what you think. That's going to round out my top 5. I'm going to get Tyler's reaction here really quick.
These?
Yep.
God, these are boring too.
Boring?
What's with you and the just straight plain?
It's not plain, it's pinstripes. You're fucked.
Maxie.
Tyler, you're trying to shame my top 5.
You shamed all my list previous to this. I'm not going to shame it if I don't think it deserves to be shamed, but this deserves to be shamed. Boring list. Hone it in. Have a little flair. Have a little fun with it.
Okay. Thank you all.
We'll see what the viewers think.
Thank you all for listening. Vote in the top 5. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify. Subscribe on YouTube. The whole bit. We love each and every one of you. Keep pointing the feedback. We need it. We want to keep growing this podcast. We want to keep getting better. We want to keep putting in what you guys, the advice that you guys gave us. So
slap us in the face with your comments.
Yes, I agree.
And we'll slap you right back with more content.
We will. But we're going to keep shouting you guys out. We're going to keep implementing what you guys tell us. So thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. And Ty?
Pod out.
Pod out.